Hello, I'm David Bohnert, Ruminant Nutritionist and Extension Beef Cattle Specialist with Oregon State University and the Eastern Oregon Agricultural Research Center, and I'm here to present an Eastern Oregon Ag Minute. The beef cattle industry in the western United States is dependent on forage production. However, forage alone does not provide all of the essential nutrients necessary to maintain a healthy and productive cow herd. If dietary nutrients such as minerals are not in the proper balance, herd health, production, and efficiency will suffer. In other words, a cow's performance will be dictated by her most limiting nutrient. Minerals are commonly classified as either macro or micro, also known as trace minerals. Mineral supplementation of beef cattle consuming standing or harvested forage is necessary to maintain optimal reproductive efficiency, immunity, lactation, and growth. However, development of a mineral supplementation program to meet the requirements of cattle consuming a forage-based diet can be difficult. This is primarily because of challenges associated with the changes in animal requirements with the stage and level of production, differences in the concentration of minerals in the forage, and providing a mineral supplement in such a way as to ensure adequate intake and bioavailability. This week I will attempt to address these challenges. Caution should be exercised when estimating a cow's mineral requirements because of the many interactions associated with certain minerals. Copper is one of the most commonly affected nutrients by interactions with other minerals. For example, the recommended level of copper should be increased anytime dietary molybdenum exceeds 2 parts per million, sulfur exceeds 0.3%, iron exceeds 250 to 300 parts per million, or some combination exists in the feed and water supply. In addition, low dietary calcium and or high dietary potassium can affect magnesium availability and result in grass tetany. Also, when preparing a mineral supplementation program, the beef producer should be aware that the requirement for many trace minerals is as great or greater during late gestation as during lactation. Prime example is copper again, which is very low in milk. Thus, the cow must build her calves' liver copper stores during gestation to minimize the potential for deficiency after birth. Without proper trace mineral supplementation prior to calving, health disorders such as mastitis, retained placenta, stillbirths, embryo mortality, calf scours, pneumonia, parent vaccine failure, and general reproductive problems can occur. Native range in most areas of the western United States is deficient in one or more minerals, and therefore a properly formulated mineral program is warranted. To properly formulate a mineral mix, the beef producer must have an estimate of mineral intake by the cow herd. This requires knowledge of the mineral concentration of the forage resources, which can be affected by soil characteristics, plant species, sampling date, sampling location, and annual precipitation. Work conducted here at the Eastern Oregon Agricultural Research Center has shown that the calcium concentration of many native forages appears to be sufficient to meet a cow's requirement throughout the year. However, phosphorus, magnesium, copper, zinc, and selenium is not sufficient to meet the requirements of an average cow during the majority of the year. Consequently, forage testing is essential to accurately determine the quantity and proportion of minerals necessary in a supplementation program. In addition, water testing is necessary to assist in the correction of deficiencies or adjusting for mineral excesses. There are several methods commonly used to supplement minerals to beef cattle. The most common are mixing minerals in a complete ration, adding minerals to a supplemental feed, and using free choice mixtures. Mixing minerals into a complete ration is the safest and most efficient way to ensure the correct intake of supplemental minerals. However, this is not economical or practical for most beef operations in the western United States. If a cow-calf producer is providing a protein or energy supplement, mixing minerals with the supplement is another excellent way to furnish minerals to the cow herd on a regular basis. But, as with mixing minerals into a complete ration, this is not practical or warranted in many situations. Consequently, the most popular method of providing minerals to beef cattle is through free choice mixtures. The main problem associated with providing a mineral mix free choice is inconsistent mineral intake. Problems can range from cattle consuming too much mineral to cattle not consuming mineral at all. A common occurrence observed with cattle that haven't had access to a mineral mix for an extended period of time is that they will consume several times the recommended level. This is a normal occurrence that should be allowed for about 2 weeks before the producer should attempt to regulate intake. Adding a small amount of salt to a mineral mix will normally encourage supplement intake. However, before adding salt, you should determine the concentration in the mineral mix. If a mineral contains 50% or more salt, supplement intake will probably not be increased with additional salt. Also, there are areas in which the grass and/or water contains high levels of salts. This can discourage mineral intake if additional salt is included in the mineral mix. In these situations, the addition of dried molasses, ground grains such as corn or barley, protein supplements such as cottonseed meal and soybean meal, or vegetable oils at 5 to 15% of the mineral mix will usually encourage intake. For each of these methods, be sure and start low and work up to a level where your cows consume the expected amount of supplement. Also, when providing mineral-free choice to cows with calves, make sure that the calves are able to reach the mineral container so they can have access to the mineral supplement as well. I'm David Bohnert. Thanks for listening.